At first glance, you may think everything is fine, but it isn't.
Frank, you haven't touched your lunch.
Frank, his lunch I already ate.
No, you didn't. You didn't eat a thing. You have to eat. I eat.
Frank, his lunch
What is the matter with you? What?
Frank, his lunch
Oh, you are going to take these
Frank,
pills.
his
You're
lunch
going to eat your lunch.
Related to medical problems.
Refuse to obey. It's like, you smell like shit. She's like, nah.
Which is a type of sugar. We need
Is that semen? You should stop eating pure semen.
This increases the blood flow and circulation in your
This video is increasing blood flow to my penis.
Just keep breathing. Thinking to help us out.
This video is increasing blood
And
flow
I
to
think a
my
lot of
penis.
patients need to learn how to do this.
This is disgusting.
Because I told him to increase his blood flow. So we're gonna leave it right there until the pain starts to go down, okay, Aaron? Alright.
We're gonna need you to relax your anus.
And see that bun, that's really the star of the show.
When I see that bun, my
Yeah, it's got
penis
meat and
starts
condiments, but
leaking.
when
We
you
filmed
run
this on a
1.5 million
potato bun.
buns,
This
on average,
documentary
our
was
average
filmed
was
on a
2 to 3
McDonald's
times.
potato.
How are you?
Bad.
consistently.
Oh, that's me. That's nice. Why do I have two versions of the same video on the internet? Should have now set that shit to private. I got rid of this video. Combo medicine.
Oh, hell no.
Originally, thumbprints were given by taking the glass vial and putting your thumb over the top of the vial and turning it and flipping it upside down real quick. Put a coating of crystal on your thumb, which was pressed into the palm of the person, leaving the crystal embedded thumbprint in their palm, hence the term thumbprint, where it would absorb. As for the experience itself, all revivers are experienced with LSD. At least they think so. You feel it almost instantly. You realize as you're slipping away that it's familiar. This is because it become quite clear this is exactly what happens when you die. After an eternity, you slowly start to come back in pieces. You feel reborn in a completely different person. You don't ever come down or back. You don't ever come completely down or back. This isn't a bad thing, but it's very scary at first. I've only seen one print go bad, and I described this in my other thread. The guy says it was the most important event of his life, and now lives happily, so I guess it wasn't bad. His reaction at the time was. It's hard to describe a thumbprint. Human language cannot describe an experience that encompasses all of life. When we die, our body and our ego is gone. We become one with eternity, or the light of God, whatever you wish to call it. My first print, I laid down and quickly realized that this was my actual death. You watch the whole process unfold with complete awareness. I didn't cling to my body, as I just realized my life had passed. As I was spiraling up or out, I saw my life evolve through the years I lived. The happiness, the sadness, the people I loved and the people I didn't. The joy that I gave and the pain that I caused. I saw the true nature of reality and why things were the way they were. As I got higher, I saw the nature of reality on the cosmic scale and saw that the reason for our evolution was to experience love. To love is to have experienced the finest of life. Then came the moment where it was time to let go. As I did, it came for me and I sobbed uncontrollably, for I realized the light or energy we call God or creation was perfect. It was pure, unconditional love. What else could God have been, I realized? That glint of innocent perfection in a baby's eye. I dissolved into it and died. Since there was no me, only the all, I cannot remember the rest because there was no me to remember. After forever, I slowly descended into my body. I spent days awake afterwards talking to myself. I vowed to God to spread LSD. I'll tell you about the one that went bad. This finds me in Oakland in the early 90s. Between tours, I would sit out in San Francisco to keep things flowing. Friends from the East Coast would need shit, so I would lay it and mail it, and others would come out for a lower price. I would lay it with them and send them on their way. Well, a real good friend came out to get 4 or 5 grams. With him, he had a few people. I told him he could help me lay it and have his friends hang out in the city till we were done. We decided to drive over to Oakland to lay it in a hotel. We get to some sleazy hotel at the freeway. I'm a little edgy about this newbie watching, but as long as he stays out of the way, it's fine. We're done cleaning up and you say, my friend is ready for a printer. You say, are you sure? He says, I think so. I look at his friend and he's like, just give it to me, I can handle it. This dude sticks his finger in right in my pile of crystal and licks it. I'm like, that's a pretty hefty dose there, soldier. He's like, yeah, whatever, now what do we do? Then I start to realize it was going to get weird. Within 2 minutes, he's saying, man, my fucking stomach hurts, that was poison. I'm like, go in the bathroom, you're going to puke. He goes in there, and all we hear is him cussing and puking. The bathroom door opens, and he comes out butt naked saying, I'm getting the fuck out of here. We're like, no man, just chill. You're not going to be able to get far. We put him in the back bedroom and turn the lights out and figure that's the best for him. I close the door and tell him if he needs me, we're there. I figure he's got some things to sort out with God. This hotel is right on the freeway. In fact, you can jump out the window onto it. We're also on the second floor. We're sitting there and I'm making some phone calls telling people I'm going to be hung up for a while, and I hear cars on the freeway honking. We go back to the bedroom and he's halfway out the window, ready to jump onto the Oakland freeway, naked. We pull him back into the room and he's starting to realize he's dying. He thinks I'm causing him to die and I'm the devil. Now shit gets ugly. We are holding him down, trying to cover his mouth. We have 50,000 doses of LSD in the room. We don't need the cops coming. My other friends get there and we tell the girls, take the acid and get out of here quick. This guy's screaming at the top of his lungs that he's dying, and I know the other hotel's guests can hear him. It'll be any minute that Oakland police show up. I'm telling him let go, don't fight it. He thinks I'm Satan, so he's not listening to anything I say. I can't imagine what the cops are going to think when they come in and see a couple hippies on some guy covered in puke and shit screaming I'm dying, as we tell him it's okay, he'll like it. After a while, he stops moving. He was sucked into eternity. He was gone. As he laid there motionless, we cleaned him up, and my friend sang Amazing Grace to him over and over again. After an hour passed, I realized the cops hadn't came. I contribute this to two things: the protection of God, and the fact that we are in a nasty part of Oakland, and people mind their own business. I take a shower and clean up as they watch him, and we take turns. My nerves are frazzled. This man hasn't taken LSD since, and lives in Oregon, and owns an organic farm. He's happy with a family and a peace. He says that night was the most important and best thing that ever happened to him. I see him at the Oregon County Fair every year, and we always have a big hug. He's turned into somebody I really admire and love. He tells me he met God and was a different person now.
You can relax. This was just
Really needs some increased blood
going
flow.
right into his scapula. There's virtually no scar tissue here. Deep ledger there.
This is interesting.
Pretty deep.